Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. Welcome to Advanced Mobile Application course. This lecture, by the way, for the let me just make it clear. This is for the third week. This lecture for third week of mobile application. All right. So if you go and look at, let's see what we have covered so far. So we started like about the introduction about Flutter framework, introduction, why to use that. Then we moved to this one, which was very important part, introduction to that for Java developers, which you will see it while you are working coding for Flutter. This for the first 2 weeks, and you did your quiz, then you got your marks by your email, and now we started working. We started work with one of the groups. I started already working on the Flutter. I started coding, building their first part of the application that we are going to build, the unit converter app. So for third week now, I will do the other lectures one. I will post it maybe soon for you about the coding part. So if we look at here, what we started last time, what I started with you on the third week, let us say, setting your environment, how to set up the Flutter. I shared with you like a video how to do it and how to download the SDK. So these are important references to help you on that part. Building the application for Flutter has these three maybe features, like you are using, like Flutter is using modern reactive framework, which is like a fast framework for building the application, and it has fast 2D rendering engine for drawing your application on the device, which means like this one is focusing on building your application rather than building against it. It's two-dimensional. Okay, for design development tools, it has rich development tools. Already I introduced this one to you on the lab, some of them. How to start the project, as you can see on the lecture note. Click on then start a new Flutter project, then you go and choose the Flutter application, then write the application name and choose hello rectangle, or you can use the command line in console to write by writing Flutter create hello rectangle if you have SDK installed, so it will build for you the project, then you can open an Android Studio. Let us say and you have to go to the main data. I will just do it again on the which you already did, most of you about this. So here this is Android Studio after creating Flutter. If you didn't install Flutter, I highly recommend to do it. You can ask our lab assistant to help you, Mr. Yusuf and Ms. Yasemin. So creating a new Flutter project from here could be started. Should have like a new Android Studio version to avoid any getting in trouble. So Flutter application is our focus in this case. We are not focusing on building a plugin, package, module. Others they are like for building this one API, new widget, another component for Flutter. You can go to the other parts, advanced parts. For building application, we have first option. Then the Flutter application, we can make it, for example, for this time rectangle. I'll make it one because I have rectangle one application. Then this one should be always keep the default where you installed or you put your Flutter SDK. And this is the project. If you want to change, you can change. It's up to you. And the description also the same thing. If you want to create your project offline, so Flutter will download whatever you need from internet now. Later to not ask you always for update, you can also click on this one. Including Kotlin and Swift support, something optional if you want to later work also on modifying Kotlin, Swift codes. It's up to you, you can add them. Or you can, otherwise Java and the objectives will be by default there. Finish. This is package name, which is not important for now. For later, it's important when we should change it when we want to publish our application to App Store and the Play Store. This one will be rejected. the concept example. You have to write, for example, something else, like your company, whatever, or your application name. I mean, your reference, better than this one. I click on finish. It will start creating the project. Until it's finished, I will just open the emulator and run it for you to see it. Okay. So later we will see like where is the file, like a dot file where we are going to write our code. And the code that we are going to get from the resources here, I think we have the code for the rectangle application, which we will do it. We will write it from scratch for the first for the next week. We're going to write this one by ourselves. So we can click on this one to get the code, rectangle application. I'm waiting till now if it's finished or not. Oh, still it's building. As you can see, it might take a while to build the project for you in Android Studio. Okay, it might take us another minute, 2 minutes. Okay. So this code basically is taken from GitHub, Udacity course, and for Flutter, and then this is the code from the import statement until the closing brace. You can copy the copyright the whole code, put it inside your Android Studio file. If you look at here, we have this is the main function. Inside the main function, we are calling whatever we need to build this app. It seems it's done. So look at here now, still loading, building maybe the files, other files. So we have the project. This is the project folder, and is it ready? Okay, rectangle application. Here are Android and the iOS files for the Flutter project that are. The code will be generated for you automatically when you write your that code, which exists stored inside the left folder, library folder. If you double click on it, it will not do nothing because it's already open for you, main.dart. So if you can close and you can open from here again to see. So if we click on this, for example, these buttons to close everything to see what we have exactly in this code. This code, default code brought by Flutter team. They put this one for you just for learning counter application. So it has only a main function, as you know. In that we have we must have like the main function. Inside main function, we are going to call the run application function to call my application class. My application class extends from this parent class stateless widget, and we have a home page also from the stateful widget, and my home page, this is the private class. It means only works inside this file, extended from state, my home page. So we'll cover later this one, stateless widgets, stateful widgets, and other types, other things that we have. So my application, running my application class is here, as you can see. This is the code for my application. It has a widget, build widget to build your application. The build widget will return a material app, will help you to, this class will help you to, as you can see, to do many things for your application. For example, putting child widgets, adding things to your application, play with the theme and language, and much more things. So here by using a material, we get these attributes: a title, a theme, and a color, home for the main screen, and attribute, and so on. So this is about like the project structure. And if we look at here, let me just open emulator. So the emulator to be open, as you can see, it's not open now. We can go to the AVD manager, click on run your emulator. If you don't have, you can create a virtual and also takes over the process. You can create a emulator by yourself. Choose anyone, next, finish, you'll get it. It will just, you should have good internet connection to be downloaded. Usually it's 1 gigabyte. I will run it, the emulator, so I can test my device, test my application that I have now. Also, it might take a while to be ready for testing. Then you can, whenever it's ready, it will be shown here on this device. It's starting showing here. I will just run the application to be shown on the device. So the process is very easy. I mean, if you install everything correctly, just you have to create the project, then run it, test it. After it runs here, we can just start and changing the code to, let us just copy the code meanwhile. I will copy the whole thing here. No, it's not a good idea. You just copy by mouse, copy. Where is the import? Okay, from import. Otherwise, if you don't import this package, you can do simply nothing with the application. It means you have to do everything by yourself, which is something really difficult and time consuming and meaningless because you have almost everything. These packages are offering for you almost everything that you need for building your app. Still so far is like working on running the application. It might take a long time especially for the first time. So please never close this emulator when you run it to avoid because usually it takes time to open again. Always keep it aside and just whenever you do any changes, till if you close your application, open this one, so will not be affected. So if you close Android Studio, this one keeps working. So it's like dependent application. So now it becomes it seems going to run the application counter app. The title for this one is a Flutter demo, and you can also, of course, play with this one, changing color, changing text. Whatever. And to understand this one, you can go through reading the comments, which are really helpful. After it's finished running this one, I will delete the whole code and paste our code for this lecture or for this lesson. Okay, just go and while it's finished, we can just go and look at other things. Is there something here important to cover? Okay, no, nothing so far. Then it says here, for example, this is a quiz, build the Hello application rectangle app, verify your setup, verify your Flutter plugin installed, create the project, paste the code that you have from the internet. This is the code you can click and get from here. Open your device, run the device. The application should have these things. But we have to, and you can click on here to see how it looks like. And after we run it, also we need to check our solution is correct. This is the code you can download and see. There is a photo now, here is a screenshot, and this is the screenshot to show how it looks like. Is it ready now? I think it's done. Android so far, it seems now it's going to install on a device. So it will build the project first on Android Studio, then it will install APK file to the device after finishing building the project. Okay, so I will do this one and I will show it to you. Then the Flutter reactive framework. So this modern reactive framework, which is using two-dimensional rendering engine, has a view which is like built as an immutable tree of widgets. The view widgets are foundations of the Flutter application. Widget is the description of the part of the user interface, and nearly almost everything is a widget written in Dart. There are no separated files for layout customization or text alignment, I mean Android Studio and what we studied in OOP, building Android native application. All the code of your for your widget is defined on in one Flutter widget. So raised button widget, it has, for example, this is maybe state, text name, color, and place shapes, whatever. All these should be written in one widget. When a widget state changes, such as due to user input or animation, the widget rebuilds itself according to the new state. For example, if there is here a face, maybe this shadow will be shown or like animation will be shown on the around the button. This saves developer time because the UI can be described as a function of a state, functions of state. We don't have to write extra code for solely only like updating the UI when state changes. Okay, now it's going to open. All right. So it took maybe around 5 minutes to run this application. I want just to show it so we can move to the other part, maybe because I'm opening many applications. So the UI, there's the UI and the user input will maybe just cause to the change to the state to be changed, like if the button is being pressed. This one will update the state of the, let's say maybe color or if a text will be updated. Then the widget will rebuild itself and the UI will be updated to reflect the changes on that by using that and Flutter. So Flutter application by using the Flutter UI rendering. So you write your application as a Flutter application, then Flutter UI rendering will help you just to export this application or to convert it to both versions, iOS and Android. Both of them are native Android or native iOS platform components. By using native Android UI rendering and native iOS UI rendering. This one now finally has been executed, the application. So now after running the application, we can see the default application from Flutter team. Whenever you click any project, let us just change the code. I will Control I, delete the whole thing, and I will paste the one that I copied from the internet that you have in the slide notes. Okay, so I have to run it to avoid getting any errors, just to import this library again, and this application is very simple according to components to that one. So we have only one class and one main function. Main function, this code is written on that as I mentioned earlier. It has these functions: run application, material application. An application is a function, material application maybe is an object. We can say, can I tell a new by using material class? Anything that you want to know in Flutter, just keep the mouse on. Anything, it will explain this. Like for example, this function is of type void. It takes a widget and create the given widget and attach it to the screen. So, and maybe this is more details about it. Same thing if you go to the material application, it will tell you this is like a class and has this input parameters. And if you remember, this one is we used for the curly brace for the optional parameter to know which one is optional or not. So all these attributes will be provided to us if we use the material application class. That's why we are using it to control, for example, the color of the screen, and if we want to put other widgets or whatever, creating list, route, and language, and too many other things. Later we can cover work on them. So all these parameters we can add them. So we add, for example, here two parameters: the debug show check banner mode, and the title we used plus the home. The others from the scaffold. Scaffold here class will help us to get If we want to customize, for example, the application bar at the top, we can use scaffold. And it will also provide with us a body for the body of the application to call our class. All right, so this one we are going to focus on later. So now I run the application, it works. So this is something really good. As you can see, this is the title. We have, for example, hello rectangle, hello box, which called we use a container widget for getting this one, this text, and this is the hello. If you want to change, you can. I highly recommend for you to change the text, change the color. For example, this color, write any color, other color, it will be, and run it again. And the great thing also, we have the hot reload to make the instead of running the application again and take a lot of time, just we can make, for example, purple. Okay, and I can click instead of run it again, no need to run the application. If you made simple change, just click on hot reload. It will take maybe a few seconds to reflect your change on the application. No need for you to run again. Maybe it will take long time. So this one one of the development tools of Flutter. Then also we have in the slide notes, for example, an inspector. Let me show it to you. If you want to work on an application, you can use the Flutter inspector either by clicking from here or go to the view tools and also Flutter inspector. Both are good. Installing development tools to the application, it might take a few seconds if your internet is very fast and your computer also. But if your computer is slow and the internet is slow, it might take a while just to install the inspector. And this is only for one time at the beginning. After, okay, we can maybe keep it for Flutter performance is working, Flutter outline is working, and the Flutter, okay, let us just give it a shot. So inside the Flutter application, this is what is inside material, Cupertino for the iOS, material for Android, the widgets and the rendering for building this widget, and Skia is using Skia engine for building like or drawing the widget with the and text. So this is like inside the Flutter application, what is there? Your application code built-in, you are rendering. Now if Android, I just have to provide canvas for us to place our widgets and our widgets on, and the rendering engine is inside. So all this information are provided like about the Flutter, how it works exactly, the development tools that we have, the hot reload, the inspector, performance, others. So we are focusing only on hot for this lesson, hot reload and the inspector. Hot reload now I showed to you. Inspector, already we explained this one on the lecture for all students. It will start like here. It should start here after a while, but unfortunately it's taking a long time. Maybe you can close and open the project again just to check the internet is there. So, okay. So we have a hot reload, we have a widget inspector widget and widget inspector, and we have code auto format. The code auto format you can get it from here. For example, you are writing here, you are writing there. Maybe you are writing like many lines, whatever. Just let us say. So you want now, after you are writing your code, you want to format it according to the Dart format. So you go to the code and you go to reformat code with that format. This is also one of the development tools of Flutter. So it will just make your code look in a perfect way according to the Dart standard. Okay, maybe we can come to the next lecture. I can show this Flutter inspector for you if it doesn't work for this time. Maybe it is like just a long time for installing the uh, inspector. So an inspector, if we look at it after you run it, it will show you, for example, here a map tree, the tree for all the widgets that exist inside your application. So it will help you by clicking on this application that we are going to build soon, hopefully. For this course, we are going to work on it until we finish unit converter. And here still developing. So here it will be shown the inspector. It will show the tree for the application. This one as a tree. You can click on any one of them. It will take you to the code, or you can. The beautiful thing also, you can click on the application in the emulator. So when you click on any item, it will take you to that item on the tree and in the code itself. So you can maybe go and change that thing. If you want to change the container, text, whatever, if you want to find an error, maybe you can click on that case to show where is the code for that thing to fix it on the code. Still, if you run your application on your phone while it's connecting to the PC and run it from Android Studio, you can click on any item here. The emulator inspector will work also. It will take you to the code of that element on the screen. So this is what is explained here. I'm just saying it in a concise way to not take too much of your time. Of course, you can go and read. It takes it better. All right. So this is the reformat and these links about what I explained. So the wonderful things about widgets, we can, like, these are all widgets, container, row, icon, whatever you need, as you can see here. On the Flutter, you will just call a widget to do that one for you. So widgets almost are everything, are foundations of the Flutter application. So in this example, we can see a lot of widgets like these tags, these images, these buttons, this raised button. All these are widgets. So this part I will keep it for next week because I'm going to work on coding and the theory part. I will post the other video soon about the wonderful things about widgets. Okay, so for now, thanks a lot for your time. Please watch the other also video. It should be posted soon. Thank you. Have a good day.